Welcome back, everybody, to this Tuesday night live stream. Thank goodness I'm off tomorrow because this is great. We got Shaun ranking the mouse, and he's going on
Oh,
vacation tomorrow. Follow him on Twitter because he'll have opening day coverage of Tiana's, or at least D23 preview coverage of Tiana's Bayou Venture. So check it out. How are you, Shaun?
man, I'm so good. Now that I'm on the Wizards channel, the Wizard himself, one of the best channels on YouTube, I could not be better, brother. I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. So glad to have you on. We miss you. We miss it. Can't wait to see you in August or whenever you come back to California because I got my Believe key so I can meet you at Disneyland anytime now. Which is super cool.
Go, bro.
But today, you went to Discovery Kingdom. Actually, before Discovery Kingdom, because you're supposed to make another trip, I think last weekend, to a certain park in Oregon, and you decided not to go. And what do you know? A ride that basically looks like Crazanity at Six Flags got stuck in the air upside down, which is insane. First of all, I think I'd be traumatized for life if I got stuck upside down for 30 minutes. Not only the actual physical headaches and whatever people are throwing up, that's insane. And you, obviously, yeah, you got stuck on, was it Emperor, right? At SeaWorld?
Yeah, I've been stuck on a couple rides,
Yeah.
unfortunately, and I'm
Can
super
you
happy
imagine being
because
stuck upside down? That's great.
yeah, man. Yeah, so Oaks is in Oregon. Basically, there's only two theme parks in Oregon, and Oaks is the more like amusement parky of it, less theme. And they're what's up, Eliza Groovy? Antonis. Basically they're yeah, it's like Crazanity. It's like Harley Quinn, all those rides that Six
Yeah.
Flags has. But
Those
this one's a
swinging
little bit
pendulum.
smaller. It's only 50 feet, but it goes completely upside down. It does 360, but not every cycle, only every other cycle. And on the every other cycle, it got stuck straight in the air. And I was supposed to be at the park that night. Literally, my wife and I
Yeah.
had plans to be there for Father's Day, and we had to cancel because I was sick. Honestly, I don't think we probably would have gone on that ride. If we wouldn't have done the 360 cycle. So I don't think I would have been stuck. But man, just seeing that, and obviously the whole park got closed down and evacuated when that happened. So I'm really happy it wasn't there
Yeah.
that night. And that thing was super scary. If no one knows what we're talking about, go to Scott Gustin's Twitter or just Google Oaks Amusement Park. You will immediately see
Yeah.
50 articles. The whole nation was covering it. New York Post, everybody.
And it's funny because at first, like, I thought it was like, because there's that video was like last year. I think that's right in like India. Someone made like some kind of fake video of like falling off. It was like that, like
Right.
clearly a fake one. I thought that was that. I thought someone made another fake video, and I saw like Scott and national news people like covering. I'm like, oh snap! They're really stuck up there. That's crazy.
I know, and the thing that was so crazy to me, because obviously, like, that's a crazy thing nationally, but I was supposed to be at that park that night, and we've never been to Oaks. It's only like probably 2.5 hours from our house. We live in Seattle. It's like the main like theme park in Oregon, and we had never been. And the one time we're gonna go for the first time, I'm so happy we canceled. But that was absolutely crazy.
And I just imagine like you're finishing your meal, go off a ride, and just looked and like, hey Jess, do you see those people? I don't think they haven't moved in a while.
Throwing up on as everyone's completely upside down, puking their guts out.
Terrible. Oh my gosh.
There was like phones falling from the ground because everyone's obviously like, you're just hanging upside down, so you can't even like everything's falling out.
Yeah. Oh God. That's and even just I felt like if you're just a ride operator, like imagine that you're just pressing the button and you're like, oh crap, what the heck do I do now? Like, man, how stressful.
Yeah.
And I hope all those people, by the way, I know somebody went to the hospital. Hope you guys are okay, because and I know all of you only need therapy afterwards, because I would. So hopefully you'll get that for free, because boy, and but Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, just a few hours south here in California, you did make it to, and you met up with some great friends, and of course your wife. How was this is your first Six Flags park, correct? Ever?
Yeah, so this is my first Six Flags park ever, and I feel like I'm kind of a Six Flags hater. So I feel like it was really time for me to get out to a Six Flags park. Obviously, there's none where I live in Seattle, and I travel to Florida and SoCal mostly for my vacations, and there's obviously zero in Florida. And SoCal has Magic Mountain, right? But that's it, and I haven't been up to Magic Mountain yet. So this was my first experience with a Six Flags park.
So, actually, before you went in, what did you expect? I'm sure you had low expectations, but how low or medium were these expectations? What did you go on expecting?
Yeah, I try and avoid spoilers before I go to parks, so I wasn't watching any ride spoilers, but I was trying to listen to like podcasts or like audio stuff on the park so I could just kind of know a little bit about going in. And obviously, I had preconceived notions about Six Flags, right? So I don't. I mean, my expectations weren't like super low because I'd heard Discovery Kingdom used to be like marine. It was like Africa Marine World, something like that, in a completely
That
different
makes sense
area.
because of the animals. So that I was wondering why
Yeah,
that Six Flags Park had animals and others didn't.
yeah.
It makes sense they
So
just bought it.
I don't have
Mm.
like the perfect history, but basically what I understand is it used to be just a marine park only for most of its existence. Then they had
Mhm.
to move up north a little bit to Vallejo, and so they changed their name to like Africa Marine World, something like that. Then Six Flags bought them and started putting in coasters. So for those who don't know, Discovery Kingdom is Six Flags like animal park. It's basically I'd probably say 2/3 like zoo animal park and then 1/3 like coasters. And most of the coasters, probably like 80% of the coasters, are just thrown in to what used to be the parking lot of the zoo. So you
Mhm.
kind of basically like the front entrance is all like crazy coasters and like crazy thrill rides, and then the whole back of the park is all like zoo. So it's kind of a funny park situation, but yeah, I kind of had a not high expectations, but I expected like great coasters, and just a fun park. I didn't have any expectations for ops because I've heard Six Flags ops suck. I had no expectations for food because I heard Six Flags food sucks. But my wife and I bought annual passes because we're going to try and go to a bunch more. We're going to try and go to Magic Mountain. We're going to try and go to Fiesta Texas and Over Texas. Um, and we're trying to go to the water parks. There's a Hurricane Harbor out in Arizona near where my parents live, the Hurricane Harbor in SoCal. So
Mhm.
we were like, okay, we're going to buy annual passes. So yeah, I had fairly high expectations going in. Not high, but definitely not super low.
Uh, and yeah, I do like I must say you did for your first one. You did do one of the better Six Flags parks. I feel like, in my opinion, because of the animal component. It's definitely something unique, and it's not just all roller coasters. So it's something a little bit different, more theme. Yeah, it's supposed to be. So good choice. Now you got in there, and one actually were all the rides or most of them open? Because I know in Magic
No.
Mountain that seems to be a real
No,
problem with.
and about 2 nights before my trip, Ethan had sent me a link from, Screamscape about how there was, like, 5 rides down, so thanks to Ethan, I had lowered my expectations about what rides would or wouldn't be open, so thank you to that wizard. But, yeah, we didn't go down just for Discovery Kingdom. We were originally going down for, like, a whole theme park trip, like Discovery
Mhm.
Kingdom, California's Great America, Gilroy Gardens, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. But then like a week before our trip, we got invited to Lake Tahoe for 3 nights for free. So we kind of pivoted it and changed it. So we still went to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, but all of our other parks were super small family parks. We went to 4 like small family parks in like the Sacramento area. So Discovery Kingdom was like our biggest park for sure. And yeah, it has 10 coasters and 4, actually maybe 5. 4 for sure, and I think
Mhm.
1 for half the day we're down the entire time. So
Ooh,
we
that's
only
fair.
had a
So
potential to
half
get
of
on
them.
5 coasters. Yeah, basically half were down, basically.
But the ones you got on, do you remember you told me you said you wanted to, you're hoping Joker was open. That was open, right?
Joker was open. It went down for about an hour, and the ops were horrendous, like 2+ hour waits.
Oh
Luckily,
man.
someone in my group has I don't know what they call it. It's like IVCS. It's
Basically
basically the
like the
database.
DAS thing,
We
but
still
for
had
Six
to
Flags.
wait like 45 minutes, even with that pass.
Really?
Yeah, it was insane, dude. Yeah, and the like using the pass, the workers there had no like half of them acted like they'd never seen it before. Like they were blown away. So the ops there were an absolute joke, but they were a joke on Joker. But we did get 2 laps in on Joker. That's the RMC, the former Woody, I think it was called Roar, and now it's an RMC Joker. About 100
Mhm.
foot tall. It's got 3 inversions. So we got 2 laps on that. We got Medusa, which is the big B&M, 150-foot B&M there. We got to ride Safari Sidewinder or Sidewinder Safari, which is their brand new Wild Mouse coaster, spinning Wild Mouse coaster that they just added. It just opened like a year ago. And then we got to ride Superman, which is the prototype. I think it's a Premier Rides prototype. It's the same ride
Mhm.
as Electric Eel at SeaWorld,
Yeah.
just with more theming. And that was it. Those were our only 4 rides. Flash was down completely, as you told me, Ethan. It's like being used for a scrapyard right now.
Yeah.
Um, Batman was down. The kiddie ride was down. The family coaster that we wanted to ride was down. Um, what else was
What
down?
um what family coaster?
I forget what it's called. It's like a
Interesting.
safari themed family coaster. I can't think of it. The other two that were down were Kong and Boomerang were both down. So Boomerang was down, Kong was down, Flash Vertical Velocity was down, the Kiddie Coaster was down, and then the other Kiddie Coaster, which we were trying to ride for our credit, is like a Looney Tunes one, was down half the day, and Joker went down for a little bit, and then Batman was open. But it did not look fun to us. It's an SNS free spin, and free spins just, I'm in my 30s. Those things wreck my stomach. And
Yeah.
it was like down like a fourth of the day. So we didn't get on Batman. That's the only open ride we didn't get on.
Oh wow. Okay. So no.
So 10 coasters at the park, and we got on 4. We got 4 coaster credits.
40%.
No, Medusa? Yeah, 4. Yeah, Medusa, Joker, Superman. No, 3. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 30%.
Forgetting one?
No, the electric eel. Oh no, it's
Oh,
Superman.
Sidewinder Safari. Yeah,
Yeah.
4. Yeah, so we got 4 out of 10 coasters, 40%.
So what
40%.
was your favorite one?
So by far, and I don't even think it's close, Joker was by far my favorite coaster. I would say Joker is the only attraction besides the flat rides and the animals that is like worthy of going to see. Joker is an incredible ride. Now, it's my first RMC that I've ridden. I've ridden like RMC tracked rides, but it's like my first like RMC steel like ride. And I've heard that people say it's like one of the worst RMCs. Ethan, I know you've ridden Twisted Colossus, and I don't think it's as good as that. But I will say it's still an incredible, incredible ride. It jumped up immediately to my top 10 favorite coasters I've been on. I think it's at like number 7 right now out of like 80 that I've been on. It's an incredible, incredible ride. We only got 2 laps on it because ops were so bad, but they were 2 just incredible rides. My second favorite was Medusa. I mean, it's a B&M. There's not much to it. It's solid, above average. And then Superman was good. It's got a really good theme. It's got a really cool queue where you like shoot into the Superman logo. But I mean, it's a premier ride. It's the same as Electric Eel. It's a cool ride, but it's short. And then the fourth was Safari Sidewinder, which is a wild mouse. It's better than Goofy Sky School, Ethan. Better than Goofy Sky
it
School.
is. Yeah, see, because boy, the Sky School is one, you hate that one, but 2, it actually hurts. So
Yeah.
that's quite
So luckily,
painful.
Safari Sidewinder was like not rough. I mean, it's brand new. It just opened last year, so hopefully it wouldn't be rough. And it took them like, I think it was supposed to open like during COVID, so it's like a 3 or 4 year
Yeah,
delayed coaster.
and
But
because it's like
and it spins. It's like a spinning. So it's honestly more similar to Primeval Whirl at that closed down at Animal Kingdom, I think, than Goofy's.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about that one is because the restraint is like a big bar, right? It's one of those bars. See, Goofy Sky School unfortunately has that the seating is so terrible that if you're specifically a male gender and it hits those block breaks, ouch, man! Like, ouch!
Dude, the whole thing is horrible. I could go on for half an hour about how much I hate Goofies.
Like, so, and like people say the Matterhorn hurts. I mean, Goofy Sky School hurts. Jeez. But Joker's colors, I must say, Joker has the coolest track I've ever seen. One of the coolest track colors I've ever seen. I like how one color's purple, one's green. I was like, oh, it looks sick.
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up and see if you could share my screen, but I mean, people can just Google it if they're watching. Google a Joker coaster, Discovery Kingdom. It is really, really cool looking. It's got one side of the RMC track is purple and the other is green. It's really dope.
Yeah, like super cool. And actually, that whole area, the DC universe area, was it like it looked like it was like a step up, like pretty good theming for like a Six Flags.
Yeah, for Six Flags Park, I wasn't like super underwhelmed by it for sure. In fact, when I first walked in, granted this is my first experience in Six Flags Park, I would say it was higher than my fairly low expectations. All of the rides are themed pretty well. Like at 3 or 4 of the rides have like actually solid queues. Like Batman and Superman are like solid queues. Joker has a good facade and really good track color. So yeah, it's not underwhelming. The biggest problem is just that like nothing looks like it fits, like you can tell that it's built on a parking lot. There's like dead ends everywhere. And then they used to have a ride called Harley Quinn Crazy Coaster, which I'm sure the theme park and roller coaster community know all about. It was the Skyline Attractions prototype, and it was the same, very similar ride to Tidal Twister at SeaWorld, except worse. And honestly, I'm kind of wish I would have gotten to ride it just because it looked so horrible. But yeah, that ride is a mess. But anyways, where that used to be, they just tore it out and there's like nothing there. So they just put like fake turf grass and like a couple seats, which I guess is cool. But there's like open electrical boxes. Obviously, they're like turned off and the wiring's out, but there's just like electrical boxes that you could just walk up and touch. Like a kid could be walking around. Nothing's gonna happen, right? Because it's turned off. But it's like, why is there an electrical box just sitting in this guest area? So yeah, it's themed fairly well for sure. But when you combine like the bad layout and like the concrete and the just strange like clearly missing rides and stuff, and like the other thing too that's so weird about Six Flags, and I don't know if this is every park, but at least Discovery Kingdom and Ethan, I know you've talked about this with Magic Mountain. So many of the rides, you're like, where is even the queue? Like, and like we had a
Yeah.
baby with us, so we were doing rider swap a bunch. My wife and I and our friend had DAS, so we were doing like a lot of rider swap and DAS and stuff. And I could not tell you how many times I would be waiting with my son for like my wife to get off the ride with our friend Courtney, and I would encounter like 30 people. Like, is this the entrance? Like, where do I go? Like no one knows where to go on like any of the rides. It's just a mess, dude. Like, it really felt like a carnival. The operations felt like a carnival, or like borderline worse than a carnival. But the rides, especially like the big coasters and then the animal section, felt like one step below like Universal. Like, it was really weird, dude. Really weird.
Yeah, that was funny. I'll never forget at Six Flags Magic Mountain when we were in line for Goliath, and it was during the holidays, and we're in line, and it was like a decently like longish line. It was halfway. It was nighttime, and then at the point in the line where there's like these dumpsters, and the T what do they call them over the team member, whatever they call them over there, was taking out the trash, and not just one, but like multiple bags of trash. And I remember she was taking out and she threw the bags on the ground, like next to us, and she's making a pile of trash, so it started to stink. So we just got out and left. I couldn't believe it. I was laughing so hard. I was
That's
like, what?
insane, dude. It's like, do these parks not have like obviously they have managers, but like, are the managers just not giving any like control or anything? Like, how is this stuff allowed? It's crazy, dude.
It was so funny. And like our DC area, see, I kind of wish you did come before Wonder Woman was built, so you can see the comparison. Our DC universe was it was like sparsely themed, but probably the best themed area in the park, right? And then Wonder Woman opened, and then somehow they de-themed the area, so it
Oh,
actually is even worse now than it did before.
that is
Even though the concept
unbelievable,
art
dude.
looks so, they're supposed to add a two-story restaurant stuff, but they demolished the restrooms. They didn't rebuild the restrooms. They just have a red construction wall. It's still there with a Wonder Woman logo on it, where restrooms used to be. And the whole area opened without shade. I remember going to the media day, and everyone was under a
Yeah, I
tree.
remember that. I watched your
Yeah,
video, and there's no,
and
yeah.
there's this big open spot of space, and they didn't add chairs and tables till like 2 months after opening when it was cold outside. Like, nah, you add the chairs. Like,
Dude, it
come
blows
on, it's
my mind.
100.
What's the president of Six Flags, like Celine Basul or something like that?
Yeah, Salim
Bro,
Basul.
like, you're an idiot. Do you just hate your job? Like, I really hope that you just get canned when this merger goes through. Which, by the way, the merger's going through in like a week with Cedar Fair. So thank God.
Yeah, then hopefully, like some not even beautification, but like some simple, because a lot of this stuff doesn't take a
Regular
lot of
greenery,
money.
right?
Yeah, like it
Yeah.
doesn't take a lot of money to add some tables and chairs,
Nah.
maybe a
And
bench
dude,
or
that's the
two.
thing. Magic Mountain has so much potential, and obviously most of my views on Magic Mountain is your videos, Ethan, and a couple other people down here in
Well,
SoCal.
well,
But
well. What's up, Drew?
Drew the Disney dude, Drew the test track dude, Drew
Drew
the
the
Tiana
test track, Drew. Do the Tiana now test track, dude.
We know for sure Drew has never been to Six Flags. They have no theming that would be
I
worthy
think
of
Drew would,
Drew's coverage.
even if he purchased a full ticket, he'd probably go in there, balk, and then turn around and just go.
Yeah, dude, yeah. No, but for real, like Magic Mountain has so much potential, right? Like it has the name brand, it has all these coasters, and it has the history. And they've just done the opposite, like you just said, Ethan. They're de-theming it, which just blows my mind. And the other thing that blows my mind is that all these people talk about Magic Mountain like it's this amazing park. and that like you guys are enabling them to just do. It's like they like Ethan, what you're talking about with Wonder Woman, how they added this cool new coaster, right? Like a
Mm-hmm.
unique like single rail, like high thrill, like a great coaster, and they de-themed the area. Like
I
it's
was
just the
mind
opposite
blown.
they
Like,
should be doing,
wow.
and people don't care. Like it blows my mind how anyone enjoys that.
Yeah.
Luckily for Discovery Kingdom, where I went, the DC universe is their worst themed area. Like that's like the lowest of the
Mm,
theme there. So that's, I mean, that's huge points for Discovery Kingdom because the other 2/3 of the park that's like the zoo animal area, and when I say zoo, it still has rides. Like it has
mhm,
multiple like super well themed flat rides. It does have a couple of coasters. It has the Looney Tunes areas. All those areas are like super beautiful. Like we walked probably 2 or 3 like full laps, mile and a half laps around the zoo area, and it was just gorgeous. And there's like randomly like themed flat rides in the middle, like these like enclosed flat rides. There's like beautiful water rides. The safari sidewinder is over there in the animal section.
mhm,
So honestly, in terms of theme, like Discovery Kingdom's absolutely killing it. But the problem goes back to the Six Flags thing that we're talking about, Ethan. The operations were throughout the whole park, not just the DC area, were
mhm,
truly like I would like borderline rather be at my county fair. Like that's how bad it was. Like people just not caring, like no, workers not caring. Like, and I'm not even blaming the workers, right? Because they're getting paid minimum wage, probably. Like they're not being
mhm,
encouraged by their management, so it's not really fully their fault. But you could tell no one there is happy. Like we like really like food is a big part of like a experience for us, a theme park experience. And obviously, I know I'm not getting that with Six Flags, right? So we didn't expect that. But we bought the annual pass and we added the 2 day like meal plan because we want to eat there. So we had two
mhm,
meals. So we're okay. What's the best meals at the park we can get, like highest class, right? So the first one, okay, Johnny Rockets, great. That sounds good. Johnny Rockets is solid. Everyone knows Johnny Rockets is a good burger. It was the
mhm.
worst experience we've ever had at Johnny Rockets. Our day didn't work and they charged us like $19 and we had to go to guest service and say, hey, we have this food pass for them to refund us. And the burger was trash. It was so crazy. So then for dinner, we're like, all right, we're gonna go to the one sit down restaurant at this park, right? It's like a sports bar.
Mhm,
NBA finals or the like conference finals are on. Like it'll be super fun. And the theming in there was really nice. Like it's legitimately like a sports bar. The employees were quite literally screaming the numbers at the top of their lungs for no reason, despite there only being like 10 people in there. So literally, this dude, the food's ready, and he goes, number 94, even though there's like 7 people, and like he could have whispered and everyone would have heard him. And he did it for every single order, and there's orders coming every like 2 minutes. So we literally had to leave because it was a nice environment and like fairly good food. We got like barbie like wings and stuff like that. It was just the employees were just screaming at the top of their lungs for no reason. So we had to leave. It's just like how can you take a good environment and ruin it? That's Six Flags operations to me. It's not just like below average. It's like truly ruining every experience.
Yeah, I don't. It makes like no, eh,
And
makes
that's not
no
even the
sense
worst.
because
That's not
it's
even the
not
worst about
not.
customer service experience. I don't want to tell the story because it's my friend's story to tell and not mine. But my friend has qualifies for DAS and IBS and all
Mhm,
that. She has a ton of issues. And she like really can't stand in line at all. I mean, she's got, I don't want to tell her story, but she's been diagnosed with a bunch of crazy stuff. Anyway,
mhm.
so we're using her DAS pass, and half the time we have no issues. She literally, like quite literally, got like laughed at and then like grabbed by an employee using the pass because they thought she was trying to like skip the line. I don't know what they thought. They were like, what is this pass? And then like the manager came over and was like, oh yeah, she gets to ride. It's like, and the manager was kind of rude about it. She's like, oh yeah, they get to ride, just send them through. He didn't explain to the lady what the IBS pass is, which is a disability pass. So the lady like grabbed my friend's arm and like swung her into the line, like with force. Like it was wild, bro.
Did
It was
you like
absolutely wild.
report
She was
that?
crying and
You
had to
should have
get out
gone
of
to.
line. And I still rode because whatever, I wanted to ride. But my friend like was crying and went to the freaking like customer service, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they shouldn't have done that. Here's a free fast pass." But she already has the DAS
What?
pass. It was crazy, bro. It was the wildest
That's
experience.
actually horrible.
It was like, yeah, dude. It was like worse than like a carnival. Like I understand if everyone's slow and stuff because you're not getting paid, but for the management to not even explain to half the workers like what the DAS pass is, and then also like half the workers didn't know what rider swap was. So we were told when we like first got in there, like not even a guest service, like the front gate, they're like, oh yeah, we have rider swap. Use it with your baby. Like just go up. Half the attractions were like, we don't have rider swap. What's that? And these were like every like big coasters and stuff. And then the other half were like, oh yeah, we have rider swap, but they like didn't know how it works. So they were just like, well, just go ahead. It was crazy, bro. It felt like worse than a carnival.
Wow, see, and that's crazy because no, your wife and your friend, we all went to Universal and Disney together, and they clearly treat the DAS system much better than what seems
Yeah.
to be going on over there. Like
Yeah,
what?
anytime
Like, there's
people complain about Disney DAS, and honestly, I'm not trying to get into that debate. I totally get why people are upset, right? But
oh
Disney
yeah, now with
DAS,
the new changes,
Universal
but
IDS system, or I'm using the wrong term. It's like IBCESS. I don't know what it is, so
yeah, like,
correct me if I'm wrong. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, those systems are like light and day, and so is Rider Swap, and so is Single Rider, and so is like Genie Plus. Everything that Disney and Universal have that I complaints about, are quite literally like a different platform than whatever Six Flags is trying to use. And that's not even talking about, Ethan, what you just sent me the other day, or we were talking about the other day privately about the Six Flags like skip the line pass and how they're like now
yeah,
they have a limit on their skip the line pass.
yeah. That is that's crazy because I know about all that, so they probably don't even know how to use like a 2-hour time limit. They'll be like, "What?" I bet you they won't
Yeah,
even
they're probably
enforce it
gonna
because they
go
don't even
through.
know what's going on.
And you have that on your pass, right? You have the free flash pass.
Yeah, yeah, it can be activated at some points. It's some weird rules, but yeah. So I don't know. That's some weird things. I think it'll just be
I
very
don't think you're
confusing
something every
for
two
them.
hours or something.
So that's weird. Oh my
Crazy, man.
god, that's
So I
I
just
still
Six
can't believe
Flags
they
like
grabbed
I
like
can get
your
it.
like grabbed her like that. That's crazy. I'd have been so mad. Oh, if I was there, I would have been yelling at
And I mean, they
somebody.
weren't trying to like, shove her. Like they just thought that they were being helpful because the lines merged. So she like grabbed
Mhm.
her arm and like tried to like rush her really quickly into
Yeah,
the regular
but
line.
still, like
And she
I
was
feel like you're
literally
not
like
even supposed
throwing her
to.
into the line. Why
I
wouldn't
feel
you
like
just
you're not even
stop the
supposed
other
to.
line?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you're not even supposed to like touch a guest. Like
Yeah,
I
and you
feel like
should
that's
never right. You
disrespectful.
should
Yeah.
never be touching someone.
Yeah.
Exactly,
You
dude.
should just go ahead and say, excuse me, you go in front, you put your hand up, say, stop, we're letting someone in. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, have to like touch him. That's weird.
And
Mm.
that's just one of like 8 or 9 experiences where we were like, what is literally happening right now? In terms of like people having no like ops having no clue what was going on. And we were there all day. We got there like before open and we stayed till like as late as we could close. And we really like truly loved the park, Ethan. Like Discovery Kingdom is legitimately so beautiful. Like
Mhm.
everything I've heard through your videos and what people say about Six Flags, Magic Mountain being like having no greenery. Discovery
Mhm.
Kingdom's the opposite. It's truly a beautiful park. It is super hilly like Magic Mountain, so it can be tough to walk around for sure. But I like legitimately loved walking around the park. I mean, like just like
Yeah,
stages
and the
everywhere.
animal portions seem
Those like
gorgeous. I like that
yeah,
portion.
yeah. But I mean, I left thinking like I love this and hate it at the same time because I mean it was true, like the operations are the
Like the
worst.
park, hate the operations. Yeah,
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
But I mean that's 100% accurate, and even that feels like an understatement because it's like the park was gorgeous, and if I lived like in like the Sacramento like Oakland area,
Mhm.
I would get an annual pass and just like walk around that park and ride the flat rides and stuff because it truly is gorgeous. There's like a lake there, but man, it just if you're trying to ride rides, like buy flash pass first of all. Like you can't not buy flash pass, so you're gonna be waiting hours. And we were not there on a weekend, we went on a Friday. I mean Friday's gonna be busier than like a Wednesday, right? But it wasn't like
Mhm.
a peak holiday. um
Yeah.
so yeah, dude. I mean, if you're trying to go to ride coasters, buy Flash Pass. Even if you have a disability access, buy Flash Pass.
Mhm.
Get there super early in the morning. But the problem is not every ride opens in the morning, and you don't know what's going to be open. And like you talk about, Ethan, like they don't post what rides are going to be closed. You kind of just have to
Yeah.
show up and like hope you get
Yeah, they
lucky.
don't post, and they don't even have. Okay, at least Management. I don't know about Discovery Kingdom, but Management doesn't have wait time signs above each
No,
queue. Like,
yeah,
so
yeah,
do they? Is that the same over there as well?
yeah. Same over there. No wait
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, so you just kind of have to. And Management, they have these newer things where they have like those digital boards with that like Universal and Disney have like that in the
Oh, okay.
center, and they tell you all the wait times to the rides, but those are it's nice, but I feel like those are only like half right. So it's really kind of a guessing game. You have to walk in the queue and kind of guess,
Right, because if there's
and
nothing
then
at the ride itself that says the wait time, then the boards probably are like outdated, and
yeah,
if they're accurate by the time you get over to the ride.
Yeah. And
So
then
yeah,
and then you have like
Discovery Kingdom has the potential, and same with Magic Mountain, from what I've seen, to legitimately
mm,
be like a top, like not Disney Universal level, but like the next thing. Joker is a world class coaster. Medusa and Superman are like very good coasters worthy of coming to. Kong I heard sucks and Boomerang sucks, but they were closed, so I didn't even get to go on them. And the animal exhibits and the flat rides and the shows are like top tier. But the operations are just so horrendous. I'm not even sure I could like recommend anyone going there.
yeah, it's so funny because like Magic Mountain's like 260 acres. It's massive, you know.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, Discovery Kingdom is huge
plenty,
too. Huge parks.
plenty of things. Like it can have like as what 20 whatever coasters, but it still has room for some nice, even some dark rides. You know, sort of boat rides. I can have
Yeah,
such a variety of rides and add some trees and theme.
yeah,
Like these relatively cheap for the cost of one coaster. Imagine if they put like the $20 million, but the beautification. I feel like the park would
right,
instantly raise up like many people's spots. You know, like just
right.
and
And
it
what's
doesn't
their
be every
goal by
season, just
adding these
one
$20 million
season. You know?
coasters? Like I know their goal is to get doozies, right? And like roller coaster junkies, but that's only going so far, especially when you're only charging like a couple $100 per annual pass. We got our annual pass for like $107 or something like that, and it's good, you know,
Mhm.
for like 10 months. It's like there's no offense, like I'm not trying to tell people we need to spend more money, but if you're charging me 250 or whatever, and there's a third of the less people, but you have way better ops, like I'm gonna pay more money to come to your park, and I'm gonna spend money at your park. I would have bought like a Joker shirt. We'd have like bought more food and snacks, but the ops were so bad, we were just like, whatever, let's just ride rides and walk around and get out of here.
Yeah, and you can see in when other parks like Knott's, which is much better themed, and now Universal building the same types or even better
Yeah.
coasters. You know, what is to say that those people don't just not go to Six Flags in general? You know, like they
Right.
get the whole
Right.
experience and a good
If not
coaster.
to get a couple more like great coasters, like, or honestly, if Magic Mountain just didn't exist in the SoCal market for coasters, like
Hmm.
Knott's is a perfect example of how you do a non-Disney Universal. Knott's is on par with, like, in my mind, like Silverwood and or
Hmm.
Silver Dollar City and Dollywood and like Hershey Park, parks like that where they are themed, but they still have like crazy coasters for the enthusiasts. I just don't know why Magic Mountain, Six Flags in general, is just going completely away from that.
Mr.
Mr. Webb,
Michael
what's up, brother?
Webateba says, "What do we think is going to happen in Knott's?" And actually, we can do Six Flags too after the merger concludes, because keep in mind, most of Cedar Fair's people are going to like in charge. Thank goodness. But so, what do you think is going? Do you think Knott's will have some least, no less investment? Do you think Six Flags will get some more beautification? You think it'll even out? What do you think is going to happen there? Because obviously with Camp Snoopy, it looks like the theater may have been cut, unfortunately.
Right. At
But
least for now. Yeah.
yeah, for now.
Yeah, it's a
But the
great
rest of it
question
looks
from Mr.
great.
Webba, because in general, Cedar Fair and Six Flags don't have that much crossover.
Mhm.
I'm not like an expert on like East Coast map, but it seems like most of the Cedar Fair and Six Flags parks are fairly in their own markets for most of the time. Obviously, not all the time. But then in
Mhm.
California, you have Great America and Discovery Kingdom, like what, an hour and a half,
Mhm.
if there's traffic, 2 hours away from each other. And then you have Knott's and Magic Mountain, which are an hour and a half or less,
Mhm.
an hour if there's no traffic away from each other. So it's a great question. I think Knott's Cedar Fair is like baby. Obviously, like it's not their big moneymaker. That's like King's Dominion and all those like those parks over there. But I think that Knott's is like the crown jewel in terms of theme for Cedar Fair. So I hope that they're going to take that mold and start implementing it at like Magic Mountain and at Discovery Kingdom. But I definitely think that that's number one when the merger closes. I think that's too many parks. So I think they're going to start selling some parks off. I hope they sell the Six Flags parks like
Mhm.
America and like Darien Lake and like LaRonde, the smaller like ones, and keep the Cedar Fair ones. But I bet they'll probably start selling some Cedar Fair ones as well. But honestly, there are some well themed parks in the Cedar Fair chain. Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and I want to say is it Frontier City in Oklahoma. Those are like really good theme parks. I haven't been there, but just from what I've seen, and Discovery Kingdom has the potential to be a great park because of the themed like zoo area. So I hope that the merger pushes them that way. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Wizard, the CEO of Cedar Fair is taking over for Six Flags, right? but the board
Yeah,
is
and
going to be
he's bringing most of his people too, so
is he? Okay.
heavy Cedar Fair over Six Flags type of
Dude,
thing.
that's good. That's good because I know they're keeping the Six Flags name, and I guess I get why because the Six Flags brand is so
Mm,
popular. And Cedar Fair is not really
mhm,
known, right? Because they don't really have any like parks. Like the closest name they have is like Cedar Point, but Six Flags
yeah,
names everywhere. Like when people think Knott's Berry Farm, nobody thinks Cedar Fair. Like
yeah,
not
exactly.
most
And
people don't
Six
even know
Flags
it.
slaps their name everywhere, so
Yeah, Six
that's
Flags slaps their name everywhere, right? And has the jingle and all that. So I get it, but I hope, they need to be careful because if they let the brand slip, and all these other parks like Cedar Fair or like Knott's and everything else starts becoming more like the Six Flags Magic Mountain route, it's going to really kill the brand. And I hope Cedar Fair doesn't go that route because outside of Disney and Universal in America, the only big like themed competitor we have is Hershend. And I
hmm
guess SeaWorld, who's owned by, I think, Merlin, right? Is that
hmm
right? Or Merlin owns.
Merlin owns I know Legoland
Oh,
and
Merlin owns Legoland. SeaWorld owns
yeah,
the Busch Gardens. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes,
So
yeah.
we have Merlin who owns Legoland and a couple other small parks, but that's not much. Those are family parks. And then the SeaWorld and Busch Gardens parks, those are well themed. I really like the Busch Gardens parks. But yeah, I mean, besides that, that's not much competition. So I hope Six Flags doesn't. I hope Cedar Fair board is the controlling voice in the Six Flags, like you know, new company.
Yeah, and it's interesting because in what you call it in Europe, Merlin owns some more, I
Yeah,
guess adult
Merlin's
parks,
big over
right?
there. Yeah.
So I wonder if they do sell some parks, maybe Merlin might take the opportunity to try to get some, not just Legoland, but some bigger adult parks and try to snap some of those up and maybe spruce them up a little bit, which would be pretty good to add some more competition in the market. And Merlin's pretty they theme things well in Europe, so I think it might be pretty good if they do sell like a Six Flags like Darien Lake or something, and Merlin snaps it up and spruces
Yeah,
up.
that's a great idea. And if it allows Six Flags to have less parks to manage and so they can focus more money into beautifying these
Hmm
other parks, that's a win-win. The other thing that Europe does really well that I wish we were better at is independent parks. Like
Yes,
parks
like
that are just random
Fantasia
by
Land
themselves,
and
nobody else.
yeah,
Those are the
so
parks that like are so beautiful. You look at like, and maybe I might get wrong about who owns what, but you look at like Europa Park, which I think is just
hmm
owned by the Mock family who
yeah, I
makes all
think
the
so.
Mock
Yeah.
rides. Like that park is just freaking gorgeous, like one of the nicest parks like in the world. So I wish we had that more in the States. There really isn't any like beautiful independent parks really that I could think of. I mean, Dollywood's, yeah, but that's Hershend, so it's not really like fully, independent. So yeah, we'll see, man. It's a good question by Mr. Webba. We're gonna find out soon, I hope, because the merger was just reported today or yesterday. The merger's going through
Mhm.
July 1st, which is like a week or two away, a couple weeks away. So I hope we find out soon, man. I want Cedar Fair to take over. I want Six Flags to be known as like what Cedar Fair is known as now, is like a themed, or at least not even themed, but at least like they care about beauty and they care about landscaping and they care about aesthetics.
And operations. Don't forget operations.
Yeah, right. Great point, Ethan. Operations, because Knott's operations are really, really, really solid. It sucks that Night or Ghost Rider is a one train ops, but the rest of their ops are really solid.
Mhm.
So yeah, hopefully we can get Cedar Fair ops too.
Yeah, because and then and then hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, goldfish. Uh, Thank you. And then hopefully we can get some of these projects back on track because I know the Six Flags Coaster project is currently stalled. Or at least I think it is because no work's been going on for months. But I think it's because of the merger
Yeah.
situation. So hopefully after July 1st, get that back on track because
Do you
currently
think
that's
that's
yet
going to be a
another
Giga,
construction wall.
or what do you think it's going to be?
So, I've heard it'll be a Vekoma family motorbike coaster.
Yes, really,
Yes.
dude, that's great news. I did not want the Giga that it was rumored. I
Yeah.
think that's amazing news.
So anyone that's watching, it's basically like Tron, but like a train Tron and
So my
longer.
only worry there is that not similar to what they already have with uh Pony Express?
Yeah, but this will be like a longer, bigger Pony Express.
That's fair. I mean, Pony Express is unique, right? Because it's a launched
Wait,
like motorbike
which
coaster,
park are
which
we
is pretty
talking about?
rare. Talking about Knott's, right?
Magic Mountain. Sorry, they're
Oh, you're
new
talking
for
about Magic
2020.
Mountain.
Yeah, Vekoma
Oh,
family long motorbike coaster.
That's
Launch
good
party.
because Six Flags needs family coasters. Okay, I thought we were talking about
Yeah.
Knott's. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
no,
good
not
news.
Knott's. Knott's, I'm
I
not
was
sure
thinking
what's
about
going
what
on
the
there.
rumored ride is in that parking lot for Knott's. I mean, I
Oh,
know that they're under
yeah.
construction. It's all just
Well, the
rumors, but
city of Buena Park came out and claimed those gigasite plans.
Ethan, you turned off on us.
Oh, hold on. How about now?
Now you're good.
Okay, yeah.
What did the
So
city of
yeah,
Buena
this
Park do?
the city of Buena Park came out and said those giga plans were never submitted to them. So I don't think that's happening. So you're in
That's
luck.
great news. That's great news. I was at Knott's recently last summer, I think, or maybe last fall, and I got a
Hmm.
survey after my visit, basically saying it's a similar survey that went out for a couple other Cedar Fair parks, but I haven't
Hmm.
heard many people talk about it for Knott's. And it basically was saying like, here's like 3 examples of coasters that we might, or like whatever we're discussing. If
Hmm.
one of these came, how would you feel about them? And one of
Hmm.
them was this crazy, like super high up coaster that like, it was like a like a tunnel launch, like not a launch, but like a tunnel lift hill, and then like it spiraled down the. It was like a side
Oh,
coaster.
one of those. It's kind of like what was proposed for Florida, right? That
Yes, yes,
yeah,
for
yeah, I
one
know
of the
what
fun
you're talking
spots.
about.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
that was one of the.
Skyplex or something.
Yeah, exactly, 100%, exactly that. So that was
Let's see.
one, and then the other that they talked about was an indoor outdoor coaster like Mummy at Universal, but half
Oh, that
outdoor.
would be pretty
Like an
cool.
indoor outdoor like family, but like a little bit more thrill launch coaster. And
Hmm.
I said I put like 0 out of 10 on the Skyplex. I don't like that crap. If you give me a
Yeah,
crazy
because
coaster,
then
it needs to be like themed. I don't want a fun spot. Like I don't want like
this is basically what we're talking about, everybody.
yes, that's
Nothing.
exactly
Yeah,
it. Yep.
it's
Yep.
very strange. Oh, here's the
Yep.
better photo.
And I think Knott's has went out a little bit more than that in their
Hmm.
concept art, but yeah, that's basically it. And I said, no way, that I don't want that crap. That this isn't Fun Spot. But the family coaster, which was like they gave Mummy as an example of like an indoor outdoor like themed coaster. I put like
Hmm.
9 out of 10 because I think that would be perfect. Because first of all, Knott's needs more dark rides. They only have the Calico train and then the Knott's Berry Tales. So more dark rides is better. If you give me a dark ride family coaster like similar to Mummy, I think that would be huge there. So hopefully it's
Yeah, I
something
think
like that.
that'd be very good because it'll boy more of like a middle coaster, get more people on, draw more families,
Yep. Yep.
and
Because
some
there really
great
aren't too
theming.
many middle coasters there. I mean, Pony Express,
Hmm.
Silver Bullet, but Silver Bullet's pretty thrill. I don't think that's really a family
Hmm.
coaster. They have
Yeah, I think
this
that's pretty intense.
Sidewinder. It's basically
And even
Pony
that
Express
one,
Sidewinder.
Sierra Sidewinders, like it would be, I say, a family one, but it's the spinning can really get a lot of people. So I feel
It
like
is.
it's even
Yeah,
like
it's
a
intense.
family thrill type of coaster.
Yeah, that's true. They are getting the Snoopy one though. It's going to be a family boomerang. Is that
But
right?
see, oh no, it'll be like a. I'll show you. It'll
Oh, the
be
family boomerang's going to.
yeah,
That's going to a different Snoopy. I think King's Island or King's
yeah.
Dominion.
But Knott's is getting its I'd qualify it as a kiddie coaster. It's like that thing you
Taking
see it.
place of the old OG rickety Timberline Twister. The most
Yeah,
rickety,
see,
sketchy
and it's like
coaster.
it's like kind of a new version of that. It's like what you see at every fair in those in the kids section. There it is. Let me see. Hold on. Here it is. Oh, there it is. Boom. Let's go right over here.
After you bring that up, we can talk about what we're thinking about Montezuma's too. Yeah,
There we
there it
go.
is.
Yeah. It's kind of basically like one of those go around twice and kids
Yeah, that
pose. So
looks
it's this
solid
one.
though with the vehicles in the fairly wooded
But yeah,
area.
definitely much better theme than Timberline Twister, and it has a little piece of theming right here, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah,
should be a nice addition. And then you
sucks
have a
that
little
we're
tent there.
not getting the theater right away. I mean that really sucks. I hate it, but hopefully that comes later. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped for this, and I think the whole Camp Snoopy renovation is nice.
Oh, and that
It would be 10 out of
opens
10 if we
next
were getting
week.
a new theater in the dark ride, but
Yeah, hopefully soon. Because yeah, theater that stuff by the way opens next week, so that'd be pretty cool to see that in action.
we're gonna get a
And
wizard coverage on that this summer.
oh, I do have a Knott's pass. It expired one time, and then I was like, man.
Yo, come on. We need a wizard coverage. Dude, I watch all your videos, so this doesn't say much, but I'll definitely watch that video.
Yeah, maybe I'll pop in. It depends. It also depends on the weather. Like I had to switch my Disney reservation this weekend because it'll be too hot.
Yeah,
It'll be like
that's fair.
94. So I'm like,
Hey,
ooh,
bro,
God,
don't
it's hot.
complain. I'm going to freaking Florida this weekend, okay? I'm gonna be
Yeah, but see,
sweating
now
all
Florida's
day.
different because that's like a once in a lifetime vacation. for most
Once
people.
in a lifetime. That's fair. That's fair.
you
All
know.
right, what are your thoughts on Montezuma's? Are we getting Montezuma's back finally?
Oh, I think so. Yes, 2025. We should be hopefully getting it. I don't think any work's been done yet, but we should be
Yeah,
getting
it
it.
sounds like they had problems with the third party like mechanics or engineers that came in to
Yeah.
redo the
So
ride.
I wonder who they're using because, as you know, Top Thrill 2 is now indefinitely closed. So I hope they're not
Yeah,
using
Top Thrill
Zamperla.
Dragster was built by a different company. I think they were built by Intamin, right? And
Yeah.
they used Zamperla for Top Thrill 2, which is crazy because Zamperla really like doesn't have any like they're more like family coasters, really.
Yeah. And see, there's a rumor that Zamperla was going to do this one. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, and I don't know who they used the first time. Yeah, now it's in their revamping roller coasters. It's been a bit of a struggle the past couple of years.
I know.
Years.
Yeah, they had issues with Accelerator and now
Yeah.
Montezuma's. But
Like,
honestly, I'm a big fan of like family coasters, and that's why I really like Knott's or like one step above family coasters. So I
mhm,
really love that they have like Jaguar, Montezuma's Revenge, like even Hang
mhm,
Time, even though I don't really like Hang Time that much. My wife's obsessed with Silver Bullet. I'm obsessed with Ghost Rider. Neither of us have been on Accelerator yet because it's been freaking closed for like 3-4 years. So hopefully we can get on that. But yeah, Knott's honestly, dude, Knott's has a really solid lineup. I think that they need to get like one or two more dark rides. They need to keep honing in on the like Western like days that they do,
yes.
like the live stuff. And then they
Mhm,
really need to work on Boardwalk because Boardwalk's starting to lose it. Oh, the other thing they really need to do is they need to make sure they have entertainment. So many times we've been to Knott's and I'm like
mhm,
hyping up the entertainment to like whoever we're going with, and then they have
mhm.
no shows that day. So they need to stop like cutting shows.
Yeah. I think for the boardwalk, they should totally just get rid of the theme. Make a new
Yeah.
theme. Like,
Yeah, it's a rough theme. I mean, Coast Rider is like a horrible ride. Hang Time looks
mm,
cool at night, but it doesn't look good during the day. It's not, and it's not themed. There isn't, I mean, the theme's like beachy surfer. And
yeah.
Accelerator, you can theme that to whatever you need to theme it to. So I would be on board with them getting rid of the boardwalk. It's tacky, man. It just doesn't fit in with knots.
Um. Yeah, and it's kind of a blank canvas. I'd actually even try to extend the 1920s theme they got going and just extend
Dude,
it through over
I
there. I
would
mean,
absolutely love that. That's a great idea. And honestly, 1920s theme and like they could kind of keep the boardwalk. That wouldn't be like a super tough theme. They just
mhm.
redid the
Yeah,
Fiesta area. I forget what it's called. Fiesta
Fiesta
something
Village,
something.
and that looks
Fiesta
gorgeous.
Village. And it's freaking gorgeous. Exactly, dude.
Mhm.
So if that's the type of stuff they're doing, that and Old Town or whatever it's called. Sorry, I'm getting the name wrong, but you know what I'm
Ghost
talking about.
Town.
Ghost Town. Thank you. Ghost Town. If they can get like the key, and honestly, Knott's or Snoopy seemed really well too, especially with like the
Mhm.
lodge and everything. If they can keep that going, man, Knott's like could really be like one of the best parks. They have all that land they can still use on the other side over by the water park with Soak City.
Mhm.
They have they just finished a hotel reservation, which looks beautiful. They have a really underrated downtown area, like super underrated downtown area. So
Mhm.
yeah, Knott's dude, Knott's is making moves, and I hope they keep doubling down.
Yeah, because that whole water. If they extend the 1920s there, they can get rid of Coast Rider, get rid of the flat rides there, make a nice 1920s kind of boardwalk dark ride or something. Even like a
Yeah.
But they can kind of take the Pixar Pier route or before Pixar,
Yes.
pre-Pixar Pier route to like a Victorian 1920s
Yes.
carnival style
They could do
game
the
there.
Paradise Pier, like
Yeah.
more like carnival, but like not carnival style, like classy,
Mhm.
right? Like the
Yeah.
1920s, everyone's dressed in suits and everything looks nice,
Mhm.
like that, like the Roaring Twenties type style. And it wouldn't be like it would be a fairly good fit with like the lands near it too, right? Like it wouldn't be super jarring.
Mhm.
That would be great. I think Knott's should do that. I think they should add like a sit down restaurant in that area, and then
Mhm.
they need to add like another live show, and then they need to add like like a dark ride or even like a quasi dark ride, even somehow fit like a kiddie like indoor outdoor kiddie coaster there,
Mhm.
family
Yeah,
coaster.
because that's like the one part of the park where you can kind of like see the streets. So if they put like a berm
Yeah,
up
it's the
there, it
only
would
time
really
it
kind of
takes you out of it a little
immersive.
bit for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like
Because
so
the
like
rest, like the whole like Ghost Town and the whole Camp Snoopy, it honestly it has that automatic berm with the like stagecoach ride, which is to this day one of the like most amazing like rides at any like big scale theme park is that
I know,
stage.
so charming.
Yeah, dude. So they can keep that up and just like have that, like they have the train, they have the stagecoach, they have like the two great water rides. They just need to keep. They need to keep the entertainment and the theme going.
Yeah. Wow. And then yeah, so I'm excited to see what they do next year after the merger. And Sean, I know you're very, very excited for this next topic. That's right, the Universal Hotel. What do you think? What do you think?
Ethan, I've been waiting for this hotel longer than you have been called the wizard. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
You
I've
probably
been
have.
I watch all of your videos, right, and follow all your coverage. But anytime you bring up that hotel, that is when you and I start having good combos. Okay, I have been saying Universal needs a hotel, and that's like the number one thing they've been needing for years and years and years and years, like pre-COVID. And you got me so hyped that last month we're getting an announcement, and we never got one. So now I'm doubling down on your
Listen,
hype and saying that we're getting one within the next 2 months. And yeah, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait to follow your coverage. I can't wait for Universal to announce it. I hate clones, but if Universal, even if they announce a clone hotel like Cabana Bay or Aventura, from Universal Orlando, I don't care. Give us a Universal hotel. It needs it so bad, and I can't wait.
oh yes, and I can't wait to follow all the coverage on it. It's gonna be super exciting.
What
Like,
Drew Disney dude did for Tiana Wizard, and what Alicia Stella does for Epic Universe, and what Bio Reconstruct does for everything, that is going to be you for freaking Universal Hotel. You're going to be there the right outside the zone where it's going. You're going to be following all the permits, everything.
it's gonna be amazing. Oh man, I can't wait. And then I can't wait to stay all four of us. Me,
Oh
the
yeah,
Wizards, you. Oh, five. Sorry, five.
6 if you have a
Little,
kid at that point, Ethan.
oh yes, our
You
little
might need a
wizards.
2-bedroom suite.
I know, right? Ooh, if y'all pull our money together, that'd be pretty nice. We up top with the view. Ooh, that's gonna
Hey,
be
we
nice.
got like what? At least probably 3 years, right? Two
Yeah,
and a
probably
half.
like 27. Yeah, but
Yeah.
definitely by
So
27. So yeah, that's ooh, I like
but
this.
next year we got your wedding and Epic Universe. So you got a lot to save up for next year.
Oh,
Then we
I
got
know,
2 years
right?
of saving after that.
Oh
No, but
my
I'm
gosh.
excited, man. I feel like Universal Hollywood gets such little coverage online. Like
Hmm.
obviously Universal Orlando gets huge coverage between Alicia Stella, Bio Reconstruct, Derek Bergen, all the, big Universal people. And then obviously the Disney parks get insane amount of coverage. But I feel like Universal Hollywood really doesn't get that much coverage, Ethan. You're kind of like one of the main guys, at least on the West Coast. So
Oh,
yeah, dude, I
that's
can't
right.
wait for you to cover it, and it's gonna be awesome.
I hope to be the leader. The leader. I already heard someone on the OG's live stream say, "I'm the West Coast Alicia Stella." I'm like, thank you,
You got a
thank you.
long way. You got a long way to get that title, Ethan. But in terms of
I'm
like
on my
size of
way.
resort, like if Alicia is at Universal with 3 parks and 10 hotels, I would give you that title for the 1 park and the 1 hotel at
That's
Hollywood.
right. Come on. I'm on
And
my.
ever since that one dude on Twitter, Universal Core, who I always had a weird feeling about, but ever since he got like canceled off the freaking platform, rightfully so. I'm not saying he shouldn't. He was annoying. But ever since he got canceled off the platform, we really don't have like a great like universal source who's like finding permits and stuff. So Ethan, this is your time to shine, sir.
An open door has opened, and I'm gonna speed through it.
Yep. And the hotel is your
Um,
chance because it'll be super easy to cover because you can just watch it all right there. And everyone will be pumped about it, and everyone's pumped about Fast and Furious, which you're doing great coverage on. So yeah, dude, between Fast and Furious and the hotel, whatever else Universal's cooking up, I hope they're full steam ahead.
heck yeah, and that new game at Nintendo is actually pretty funny. You don't need a
Is
power
it?
band to play it, but
Good.
it's
I
actually
really like
it's
the I
pretty
really
cool.
like the Nintendo World games. I think they're like a super unique idea for a theme park. The problem is they're just so not scalable. Like they're so rewritable is the wrong word. They don't have much like repetitiveness, right? Like especially
Yeah,
the what's the one with the turning wheel? Like I that was
yeah.
the one in
No,
me
those
on the
manga, but the new one, the little interactive feature. Oh, you'll see in the video tomorrow. But the thing that you don't need a power band for, it's just there's actually four different versions. So it's pretty cool. It's super
okay,
short, but
see,
there's
that
four
gets me
different
hyped.
versions.
That gets me hyped. And the other one I really like is the other indoor one. It only has like one version, but I really like that one that's down over by
Oh,
the
the Bowser
entrance.
Jr.
No, not to the right of
Oh, no,
Bowser.
oh, the block,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
one like this. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. The
I
one
like
that
that
I'm
one's pretty
not
well
huge
themed.
fans of, they're okay. The two on the left side of the land, like on the other side of Bowser, the
The
one that's
cranking,
like the
yeah,
running,
I don't like the
yeah, the
cranking
cranky
either.
one,
That's a lot of
yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it gets old for me, but the more the merrier. I'm not complaining at all. I'm saying this in a good way. Like I think the screen ones work better for like. Usually I like practical effects, but the practical effect games don't seem to work as much. They seem to like have a little bit more
Hmm.
issues and like have less like less like rewritability and less like
Hmm.
throughput. But the screen ones are like more unique and creative and get people through it, and they take up a smaller space. So getting people up to that top floor, because it's kind of a dead zone right now, right? It's just
Hmm.
binoculars.
Definitely, and there's
Getting people to
still
that
even
top
more
floor, that's
space.
huge.
So
I'm really
I
glad they
hope
did that.
I hope they add some more because there's still that big room of open space. So
Yeah,
they can add. I don't know what's in Japan, but they can hopefully they'll add some another experience because that could be a really it's still a lot of big emptiness. So the
yeah,
more the merrier, as you say. Right.
amen.
And before we sign off, let me just tell everyone that Mr. Seattle over here has the sun shining in his face at 9:09 p.m. This is not a pre-recorded thing. This is live at 9:09 p.m. and it's bright and sunny. This is insane to me.
It'll be like this until about 9:55. Then it starts going down.
Like that's crazy. Like I don't know how someone like goes to. I don't know what time Jess has to wake up to go to work, but if she goes to
He
sleep
gets
before
up at
10
like
o'clock, I don't know how you. I don't know how people go to sleep before 10 o'clock because it's so
yeah,
sunny
it's a
out.
little tough. We don't go to bed till after 10. This is I don't know
Yeah,
if it'll work, but this is our view from our house.
I mean, look at that. That's insane. I
Oh
love that.
yeah, it's
Wow.
beautiful, brother.
Also, those are very nice houses, condos, townhouses,
Yeah,
whatever they
we're
are. Very
condos.
nice.
So we own it, but it's a condo. So there's someone below us, unfortunately, but we still own it, so it's nice. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's nice.
the thing about
Wow.
Seattle, for anyone wanting to visit, our theme parks are complete ass. Okay, especially in like the Seattle area. There's a couple good parks in Vancouver, Canada, and there's a really good park in Idaho, which is about 5 hours from here. And there's two average parks in Oregon, but there's only one park, one and a half parks in Seattle, and they're both ass. So yeah, don't come here for theme parks, but come here for the outdoors for sure.
Yes, natural beauty. It's so nice. Um, well, anyway, everyone, please follow Shaun on Twitter because he's tweeting all the hot takes
Hey, I'll
and
be
the
heading
low
down
takes.
to Orlando tomorrow night for some Tiana's Bayou preview. Cross my fingers that we can even get on it. We have a D23 preview, so they're
Yes,
advertising unlimited rides for the 5 hours, but if I can get on once, I'll call it a win. So hopefully I can tweet my hot takes on Tiana.
yes. Hopefully, you have a nice daytime and nighttime ride because I can't wait to the side by sides. Hopefully, it doesn't break down too much on you, and it'll be great. Is this D23 is like one day or is it multiple
Yeah,
days?
it's just a 1 day, 5 hours, 5 to 10 p.m. on Saturday.
All right. Oh, so in 2 days. All right. We'll be watching. And make sure to subscribe to me because, as Shaun just said, I'll be doing lots of coverage of Universal and other parks. Stay tuned. As always,
And
have
Knott's
a
Berry Farm, Wizard.
and knots. And next week, and have a fantastic day. Thank you, Disney Drew Dude and Drew the Disney Dude and Mr. Weber for joining.